Well, hello and welcome back as we have our ongoing conversations with Lindy, the Scranton Hermit in the Divine Will. As we come in on Lindy today, all right? Lindy, sounds like we have a moment of reflection, a meditation that has been penetrating you and that you'd like to share. Is that true?
Found these wonderful, or I don't know, I think God sent me or something, these wonderful videos. I'm giving a plug to this other this other YouTube channel. I don't know who produces them, but they're just really wonderful. Son of the Eternal Will, the way that they, you know, portray what's in the book of heaven. It's just absolutely beautiful, I think. And there's different ones there. Usually they're pretty short, and there's different ones, but this one particular one, I mean, I don't have it memorized yet. I'll probably try to memorize it, but it's like Our Lady speaking to Louisa and to us and saying, keep your interior gaze fixed on Jesus, which we know that already from our lives, that we should always, even in scripture it says, when the eye is sound, the whole body is sound. When the eye is in darkness, the whole body is in darkness. But this is like in the divine will, like whatever we do, whatever acts we're doing, whatever's going on in our life, whatever is going on interiorly and exteriorly, we just always turn our gaze and fix it on Jesus. And it says in this little quote, which I don't have memorized, but it's so beautiful. It says, in that way you will comprehend everything, and he's always with you. Like, keep him always with you. He's your life, he's your good. It's just so extremely comforting and helpful. And it's like saying, and you'll be taken up to Mount Calvary all the way to the top. And when you get up there with him, because he'll lead you there, you will comprehend everything, and you'll be able to do everything. And everything will happen, and you'll understand everything, but you'll no longer see him as a baby. I don't know how to explain it, what it exactly. I mean, it's not just words. It's like when you start to experience it, it just changes your life, and you just feel so thankful, and just, I mean, just Our Lady saying to us, keep him with you always, and don't be sad, or because he's your life, he's your good. And if you look at him and you keep your gaze always on him, then your life will be changed into him. I mean, I know we hear all these things, but like when you start feeling this in your own being, it almost takes your breath away. You're just, because you can feel all these things. I mean, I can feel all these things happening. Like, so, and then, I listened to this other, I forget where I listened to this recently, but maybe it was on another YouTube channel. What Tony Hickey always says, let's always face God. So, like, always face God. Don't look at the world. They're so simple principles, but it's so different in the divine will. Everything is different, because you're not just doing it you're not doing anything except allowing, or I don't even know. I can't really talk about it that well, but it's.
Well, Lindy, I just note that this is from um, June 30th, 1903. And the last portion that you referred to is so beautiful. And it says that all this that you refer to is the beauty of the interior soul, without voice, without education,
Mhm.
since there's no external thing that attracts her or upsets her. That is beautiful.
That is just absolutely, I mean, that's what, we all want, and we all want to live in the center of God's will. We don't want to I mean, we're human beings, so we feel momentary this or that, but our will, it's what's in the will, I think. I mean, I don't know. It's like, where is your gaze? Regardless of whatever's going on, where is your gaze? Where are your eyes turned? They can't be for one instant turned toward what's happening on earth or what's happening to me as a person. It has nothing to do with me anymore. It's not me. And it's so wonderful. It's just so wonderful. It's like the most, I wish I could just tell the whole world, like, this is the way we were meant to live. This is the way. This is what we're called to. This is the kingdom of the divine will on earth. This is everything. That's, I don't know how to put it into words, but I'm so ecstatic when there's so many readings in the book of heaven that are just, it's heaven, it's like God placed heaven in our hands with these writings. And Our Lady is always saying in Medjugorje, long for heaven. And it's just so, it's here at our fingertips. I'm not saying that it's easy, but it's not even about whether it's easy or hard. It's almost like that's immaterial. You don't think it is hard, but it's not your top concern, like whether it's easy or hard. You know what I mean? Like, you don't care about that anymore. You don't even care how hard it is or how hard it gets or if it's even harder. And I know this sounds crazy, but there's a part of you that just thinks like, Lord, whatever you want. I'm not saying whether it's hard or easy. I'm not trying to evaluate. I don't even care if it gets harder. Please let it be harder if it helps your kingdom. I know that sounds crazy, but it's like, I mean, you're not saying that because you want to be some kind of star of the show so you can show how hard it is for you. That's not the point. But it's not about anything like that.
It sounds like love to me.
It's about love, yeah. And then this morning I was reading, and it's all about love, like every single thing. Like Jesus says, when I breathe, I love you. When I move, I love you. When in the flowers, I love you. In the trees, I love you. In the twinkling of the stars, I'm telling you that I love you. In the shedding of my blood, I'm telling you in every movement, in every single thing that I do or will ever do. That is so, I mean, how could anybody not be happy? That is just, I
And
don't know.
I hear your response and the desire to do and give anything and all of it to you as basically you're saying, and I love you too.
Yes, yes, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
And
beautiful.
I wish everybody that could feel and experience this joy and happiness, because this is, Our Lady says, in the book of her book, in the Virgin Mary, she says, I've taken as my responsibility to make you happy. And she does. Like, if we entrust our hearts to her, we entrust our wills to her, and we beg her, just keep my will in your hands. Like in the consecration prayer, to the divine will, it says, Saint Joseph, you keep the keys of my heart in your hands, and you be the custodian and protector of my will and of my heart, and do not give it back to me again. That is everything. That's wonderful. When I read that, I was like, oh my gosh, this is where I want to be. This is where I've been searching my whole entire life. There is nothing like this. There's nothing that's ever been given to any of the saints before this. That this is everything. This is the way to heaven. This is the way we can help our brothers and sisters. This is the way we can help souls. Like, every word of the Passion saves a soul. Every single word. That makes me want to pray the Passion 24 hours a day. But even if you can't read the Passion 24 hours a day, you can live the Passion. And that's just, oh my gosh, it's like I have so much to be happy about. I don't know. It makes any sense? Or I don't know.
Well,
It's just what's in my heart. I don't know.
knowing as you've shared with me, and I know you don't like me to share this, but how much physical pain you're in, to hear the joy you're expressing has to be from God. All right. And it's in the simplicity of just looking up, having our interior gaze cast to heaven. What profound words from you. All right.
Well, I think it's from, I mean, it's from Jesus. He's the one that told Louisa, and he's the one that, has been telling us since for all time, like since the very beginning, like it's all a breach that was, happened. But he's been wanting to fix it for all these years, and he came and he's here, and Our Lady is, in the Byzantine church, we say Our Lady her womb is more spacious than the heavens, and that goes along with the Virgin Mary in the kingdom. The readings that we've been reading this month, it's all about her being the gateway, she's the gate of heaven, and her womb is more spacious than the heavens because, you know, her womb contains the Son of God, just imagine just think about that. Like, it's just, but she's with us. She tells us in Medjugorje, her last message, she said, I come to tell you that I love you. Like, she's here with us. And she's in our world every day. She's here. She's here visiting us, talking to us, you know, appearing in various places to help us and to help us to come along and be part of this wonderful life that, God has for all of us.
Well, Father Iannuzzi was just sharing about Medjugorje yesterday,
Yeah, I
and
heard it. It was wonderful. It was so
isn't it?
nice, beautiful. And I was also thinking when he said Mary came to me as a sister, and I thought, well, that's the Carmelite way. As Carmelites, we know her. She's when she appeared to the first Carmelites, she appeared as Mary was the sister to the brothers of Mount Carmel. She's our sister, she's our mother, she's our friend. That's how we think of her as Carmelites.
That's right.
So it was really wonderful to hear that.
And Our Lady wants us in her court, for you as queen in her court, all right? A queen consort, I guess, for us to also, as you say, birth new lives, new divine lives, in the sense of our spiritual wombs.
And with
Right?
all our acts, with one single act, just by sitting here, just by breathing, just by speaking, just by moving my hand to pick up something off the floor or something, just anything, just any little thing that we do in the divine will produces all these, a rippling effect throughout the universe. I mean, I don't know how to explain it that well. I mean, I don't know the words, but it affects all souls. It affects, I don't know, you can explain it better, but I mean, what a life we have, what a purpose we have, you know, what a divine purpose we have from morning till night, even in our sleeping, even when we're sleeping, you know, and it
And the
takes away the pain of life because you're no longer alone. Even if you are alone from an earthly standpoint, you're never ever alone because you're in the heart of the Holy Trinity. You're with all people, all at all times, in all places. You're with everyone, helping everyone. Just like I think it's one of the writings of, I don't know if it's St. Clare or somebody says, it's for everyone. That's what contemplatives are. They're for everyone. When somebody is living a contemplative life, or when somebody really prays, they're praying for everyone. In the name of everyone, they're doing everything for everyone. That's what Jesus did for us. So contemplatives are not like people who hide away in some kind of monastery and, just sing all day and, I don't know. That's not how it is. You're deeply, deeply immersed in everything that's going on in everybody's life, in every city, in every town. That's what it means to be a true contemplative. So
you
you're
know that
touching everybody's life. You're touching everybody's life with the divine, with the blood of Jesus, with the life of Jesus.
Yeah, they used to accuse contemplatives of being navel gazers, looking down, but it's just the opposite. As you're saying, it's gazing up and seeing God, who is right there, lifting you up as He's lifted you up in this reflection.
I wish this joy for everybody and this peace. And it doesn't mean that life isn't difficult, but like what I'm trying to say is you're not concerned with the difficulties. It's not that you don't feel them. It's not that you don't feel them. You do feel them because Jesus felt them. You know, we're called to live the life of Jesus. Jesus felt every single blow, every single minutia of every single person, every single soul, for all places, all times, every single sin, every single problem, every single misfortune. It says that in the book of heaven. Jesus felt all that. Our Lady feels all that. Of course, we're going to feel that. So it's not for a soul. If you don't want to do it, like, I forget where I read this too. I don't know, maybe we talked about it, or maybe I read it somewhere. It's not, you can't be timid. I think it might be in the book of heaven, or the book, one of the readings from the Virgin Mary. It's not for a timid, you can't be timid, and you can't be like, oh, I don't know if I want that, or you have to be resolute. You know, you have to really want this, but it's not hard the way people think it's so hard. It's so hard. No, it isn't, because it's God. It's God doing it in us. It's only hard if I make it hard. That's what I'm trying to say. I mean, I don't know that much about it. I'm just learning, but you know, do you know what I mean? Or does any of this make any sense? Or I don't even
No.
know if it makes sense. I have no idea.
And the simplicity you describe, how simple it is just to keep our eyes looking up, helps us to go to the rest of it. And the fact that, as you pointed out, that Mount Calvary, that when we get there through those sufferings you described, through the pains and the annoyances of life, that's where everything turns around as you keep your heart and your interior gaze fixed on God.
And I mean,
Beautiful.
you might think, well, how in the world can all that happen? How does this actually happen? How does this not sound like pie in the sky when I'm going through this and that and everything else? But it's grueling. There's no way to get past the grueling, or the nails, or the pain, or you gotta, that's part of it, but it's like you're not concerned about that. Like the saints, you would read the saints and they would say, I mean, how did the saints do that? Or how did they actually want that? I mean, was something wrong with their minds? Like they wanted suffering? Like, but it wasn't suffering for suffering's sake. It's suffering for love's sake. Like I've been really, really thinking about this a lot. Jesus loved, you know, like when you read the hours of the Passion, like I just read the 19th hour today, prayed the 19th hour, and it was like love. Love was what motivated him. Love, it was all love. And that's what I pray for myself, that I can experience that love, that I can be open to it, that I can, you know, and then I can transmit it, because that's what Jesus did. That's what suffering. There's somebody that I knew, and she used to say, oh, love is pain. But you know what I think is more true though? Pain can be love. I think that's really what's more important. Pain that we have in our life can be all changed to love. So it's not even about pain. It's not even about all that. Like, I'm in pain. That's nothing to do with it. Yeah, I might be, but that's not even like part of the thing. That's only like a little trivial. He's using our bodies, he's using our minds, he's using our souls, he's using the external circumstances of life. That we can't avoid the grinding and the grueling. Can't avoid that part. I don't know if it makes any sense, but this is all good news though. So because the further you go on, you don't care about the grinding or the grueling. You're not even thinking about it. You feel it, but you're not thinking anymore. You're not thinking and thinking and thinking. Does this make any sense?
Sounds like the blessed in heaven's very own life. All right.
Yeah, but do you know what I mean? Like you're not like thinking and thinking. Your mind isn't like going a
Um,
mile a minute, like about all these pains that you have and stuff.
yeah, we're freed from me, from myself,
Right.
and that is bliss all by itself.
Yeah. So we just keep praying for each other. Please pray for me, because I know I really do need your prayers, that I can do, that I can let God do, right? Isn't that what we say in the book of heaven? He says, let me do, right? I really
Yes,
need prayers to let him do.
and
And you know,
we do. We pray for you, and please pray for all of us. All right,
oh,
through
I will, and I do. It's great
the
happiness.
coinage of the coinage of your suffering is coinage of heaven itself. All right, it's the price of the joy and the peace of God. So so again, thank you very much, Lindy, for sharing this insight and this wonderful, simple pathway to joy.
Thank you.
Amen. And on behalf of all of us, fiat.